James, James, Buki. I understand that, this is a rebooted continuity and that there's only a few outliers that get to transition from the DCEU into the DCU, that mainly being, like Shoro Dueñas, Blue Beetle. It's like, why wouldn't he? He's never interacted with any DCEU characters. There's nothing that indicates that it has anything to do with the DCEU continuity. Amanda Waller and Peacemaker, I feel like the general audience wouldn't be too confused as they're not major characters. However, Harley Quinn being played by Margot Robbie in the DCU is kind of questionable to me. Now, without a doubt, she is one of the best parts to come out of the DCEU. I think most people would agree that she does a phenomenal job as the character. And in an ideal scenario, I would like to see her continue, but I feel like she is way too attached to that universe, not only with interacting with those characters from the DCEU, but also being Jared Leto's Harley Quinn. That's Ben Affleck's Batman's version of Harley Quinn. And I just feel like that shouldn't carry on into the DCU. And the only reason why I bring this up is that on Threads, James Gunn stated himself that he hasn't had any discussions with Margot Robbie recently in terms of returning, but ideally he would want her to come back as Harley Quinn or in another role. And there were also statements from Margot Robbie herself saying that ideally that she could see the character being passed on to another actress and saying what new take or interpretation they would do, which is what sparked someone asking James Gunn about the future of Harley Quinn in the DCU in the first place. And I feel like my stance on DCU characters has been pretty consistent, whether it be like Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, whoever. For the most part, it should just be completely brand new actors and actresses taking on these roles, because it's why would you want to carry the burden of a dead universe that was problematic as hell, which led to its own downfall with inconsistencies and lack of planning and continuity. And a big selling point for this universe is how you don't need to watch any previously established DC projects in order to go in like Superman Legacy or Creature Commandos. Those are the only two that are considered the starting points of the canon in this new universe. And I feel like if you look through the lens of a general audience member or like a casual viewer, it's like, okay, we get a new Superman, this is a reboot, but why is Margot Robbie still here? I guess it'd be kind of up to interpretation, or interesting to see if the average audience would even care or if they would even notice. But personally, I think for the sake of simplicity and just cleaning up continuity, I don't think she should come back as Harley Quinn. While it wouldn't be as grand or intense as having two completely different actors for Batman and Superman but keeping the same actress for Wonder Woman, I wouldn't think it'd be that problematic. But it is kind of in the same vein of, let's say you have a new actor for Batman, which we are getting in The Brave and the Bold, and most definitely if they want to implement the Joker character into the DCU, it's going to be a new actor. It's like you have all these different faces and interpretations of the Bat family mythos or his rogues gallery, but then you have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn as the outlier, and I feel like she's just way too associated with interacting with those DCEU characters like Joker, Batman, the Birds of Prey, the Suicide Squad. And in my honest opinion, outside of Peacemaker, Amanda Waller, and Blue Beetle, there really should be no actors from the DCEU coming back. Like, that's just my take on it, because if this is a new continuity, you need to stick with that, and you need the best possible way and the most simplistic way of conveying to the general audience, this is a new thing, do not associate this with what came before. I feel like a few exceptions to this, or like one of the only exceptions to this I could think of, if Joe Manganiello came back as Deathstroke in the DCU, considering you literally only saw him for like less than like 2 minutes in a post-credit scene for Justice League. He barely did anything, so if he came back, that'd be fine. That wouldn't be really all that confusing. He barely interacted with anybody. But with Harley Quinn, like, she's a very big staple of the DCEU, and I feel like we need to leave that behind. And if there is a scenario where Margot Robbie does not come back as Harley Quinn and the character does get recast, I feel like this is sort of indicative of the problem of James Gunn replying to like every single comment and reply that he gets on social media. I do appreciate on one hand the transparency of the DCU and debunking any ridiculous rumors, false statements from actual credible big trades like Variety stating how the Batman by Matt Reeves would be part of the DCU, but James Gunn was like, no, obviously that's not the case. I'm glad that was clarified, because there would have been a lot of people confused and wrongfully thinking that Robert Pattinson was going to share the screen with David Corenswet's Superman, or when the Hollywood Reporter reported that Palm Clementif would be in Superman Legacy, but that just wasn't the case at all. So I think in those cases it's fine for him to have a big social media presence to clarify big things, but I don't think needed to like debunk every single rumor from like scoopers and whatnot, because because I feel like common sense should be that a lot of these rumors are false, but a lot of people lack that for some reason. But it gives the false notion that anybody is just gonna ask a question under his pages and whatnot. He's essentially turned his page into a Q&A session. It's like, it doesn't matter if what he posts isn't related to the DCU, you're gonna have people asking questions and getting away with saying stupid stuff. So that's just my take on it. For this new iteration of the Harley Quinn character in the DCU, I think a really good introduction to this character would be via the Arkham show, produced by Matt Reeves, which I guess is now a part of the DCU instead of the Matt Reeves Batverse. I think is the perfect way to have us be introduced to this rogues gallery and what this tone of this new Batman is like, and how established he is as a character and how he's affected his rogues gallery individually. And then that could lead to a bunch of other things, like a Gotham City Sirens TV show or movie, which I would have preferred over the Birds of Prey movie we got. Just a simple like trio with Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. At the end of the day, if she did come back as Harley Quinn, I wouldn't be like upset or anything. Like I said, I do like her as Harley Quinn, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I do think that just sticking to the fact that this is a new continuity, just get a new actress. I really think there wouldn't be a lot of harm done if you did that.